Welcome to lesson 78 of Numbers and Operations, Powers and Laws of Exponents, Part 3. So you're halfway between lessons. This is a 5-part series. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts, please go back and watch the first 2 parts. If you've never seen my Welcome to My Channel video, please go back and watch that. And also, one more request is please go watch Intro to Numbers and Operations so you know how this playlist works. And I will go from there and I will move into our objective, our vocabulary. Okay, so now in the first 2 videos we dealt with all 4 of these plus the identity and what are we going to add on to it. All right, so now we're just going to do operations with the first 4 or 5 laws. And I know you saw 4 on the previous page, but the first 4. So now we have 2 to the 4th plus 1. And we know that exponents only deal with multiplication of the same base. So you can't do 3. This is not 3 to the 4th power. That does not work. This is not 2 to the 5th power. That does not work. You're going to have to evaluate this one first and then add the 1 on. And so 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8, with times 2, which is 16, plus 1, and we get 17. So the proper way to do this is do the exponential because that's multiplication. And you wouldn't do 3 times 3 plus 1 as 3 plus 1, then 3 times 4. It just doesn't work. You don't get the same answer. Okay. Simplify using a single exponent. So here we have the multiplication law of exponents. We got the same base, which is -2. And then we're just going to do 3 plus 2 here. And -2 to the 5th power gives us 2 to the 5th power. But since there are going to be 5 negatives, we know we're going to get a negative. And let me write this out so that you all see. We got 5 2's. So we have 5 2's, and anytime we have an odd number of negatives when multiplying and dividing, we're going to get a negative. And so 2 to the 4th was 16, 2 to the 5th, 16 times 2 is 32. So our answer will be -32. Example number 3. When we divide, we subtract 6 to the 5 minus 2, which gives us 6 cubed. And 6 cubed, 36 times 6 is 216. And it's a good thing to know for your memory, your cubes up to 10. So 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube, 7 cube, 8 cube, 9 cubed, and 10 cubed. That's a good thing that you should know. So these are going to be common. Okay, so simplify. So we get dividing. We get the same base. 2 minus 2 gives us -5 to the 0 power. And any number to the 0 power is 1. And also, it's the same number, the same thing, so it's going to be 1. So that gets back to an earlier fraction lesson. Anything divided by itself is 1. Okay, now let's look at example 5. 4 squared minus 4 to the 4th. You do the 2 minus 4, you get 4 to the -2, which is 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 16. So this combined the division property and the negative exponent property. And that's all the higher laws are just combination of properties. So this concludes our examples. We have 4 of them today. So I will meet you at the end of the video for the recap. So now, this looks a little complicated, but only deal with the same base. So if you only worry about the same base, you get 5 to the 2 minus 3 is -1, so you get 1 over 5. 6 to the 5, 6 to the 5 is 1. Because anything divided by itself is 1. And 7 to the 4 is you get 7 squared. We know that's 1. Okay, so we get 7 squared over 5, which is 49 over 5. We're going to simplify this down. 9 times 5 is 45, so we get 9 with 4 and 4/5. So don't forget, when you get improper fractions, to simplify those fractions down. And problem 2. So the base is 3/4. So I'll deal with the top separately from the bottom. So 3/4 to the 3 plus -9 gives us 3/4 to the -6 power over 3/4 to the -4 power. So let's put this all in the numerator. -6 minus a -4 gives us 3/4 to the -2. And I'll put a parenthesis around that because the -2 is on the outside. So we have 1 over 3/4 squared. And so let me do some fraction magic for you. And if this confuses you, you probably need to go back and watch some of the fraction videos, which is 1 over 1 times 4/3 squared, which gives us 16 over 9, which becomes 1 7/9. So that concludes lesson 3, or this lesson, which is the third in a series of dealing with exponents. So now we had some operations with exponents, and I hope we're feeling strong, because number 4 is we're going to add on a couple more laws and get it a little bit more difficult. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.